You ever been there? In a classroom, a meeting, even just explaining something to a friend, and you see that look? You know the one. It's like the lights just went out behind their eyes. That exact moment when a super clear instruction somehow becomes impossible. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden reason why that happens. And trust me, understanding it can change everything.
Seriously, it's a scene every single teacher and parent knows by heart. A student is totally locked in 1 minute, and the next, they're doodling, they're restless, or they're just gone. It's frustrating, right? And it happens all the time. But what if it's not about their motivation or their ability at all?
Okay, so let's picture this. Mrs. Ramirez gives 3 simple directions. Devin starts off great, totally on board. But then, poof, that 3rd step just vanishes into thin air. He wasn't trying to be defiant. He wasn't ignoring her. There was something else going on, a kind of hidden bottleneck in the brain that honestly affects every single one of us.
So to really get what happened to Devin, we need to talk about the brain's own built-in workspace. The best way to think about it is like a small desk you have right inside your mind. This mental desk, that's what scientists call your working memory. It's the spot where you hold on to new information while you're trying to make sense of it, connect it to what you already know. It's absolutely essential for pretty much everything, from following directions to solving a tough math problem. But there's a catch. And here is the absolute kicker. That mental desk space, it's shockingly small, like really small. For most of us, it can only hold about 5 to 7 little bits of information at one time, and only for a few seconds. That's it. Once it's full, nothing new is getting in until something else gets cleared away. So this is the big takeaway. When we see a student zoning out or getting frustrated or forgetting instructions, it is not a character flaw. It's actually a biological signal. Their brain is literally sending up a flare saying, hey, I'm at capacity here. The desk is a mess and I can't process one more thing right now.
And this right here is where we, as the well-meaning adults, often get it totally wrong. Our first instinct when we see someone struggling is to jump in and help, right? Give more instructions, more reminders, more encouragement. But that can actually make the problem so much worse.
We see the symptoms on the surface, the frustration, the I don't get it, the disengagement, and we think the problem is a lack of understanding or maybe effort. But what's really happening under the hood is a system in total overload. That student doesn't need more information. They desperately need a system reset. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. It's this crazy paradox, isn't it? Pushing more information onto a brain that's already full is like trying to cram more files onto a desk that's already buried in paper. It doesn't help. It just creates more chaos and, more resistance. And the cost of not getting this right is just huge. Students end up feeling ashamed, like something's wrong with them. Teachers burn out from having to say the same thing over and over. And it creates these massive equity gaps. Because you know what? Learners who are already dealing with a ton of stress outside of school, their mental desk space is even more limited from the get-go.
Okay, but here's the good news. Once we see the problem for what it is, a design issue, not a person issue, the solutions become surprisingly simple. So, what can we actually do about it? Let's get into the playbook.
First off, it really helps to know the triggers. A desk gets cluttered when a task is way too complex, or when a student is just tired or dehydrated. Sometimes the pace is just too fast, and other times, emotional stress from, say, a fight with a friend is taking up all the available room. So you see the signs of overload, that glazed over look. What's the number one, most powerful, most effective thing you can do? It feels totally counterintuitive, but it's this. Just stop. Stop talking. Stop pushing new information. Any instruction you give in that moment is literally a waste of breath until that desk space gets cleared.
So here's your game plan. It's simple. 1. Start with the body, a sip of water, a quick stretch. 2. Reduce the demand. Break the task into smaller pieces. 3. Use supports, visuals, checklists, anything that takes the load off their memory. 4. Match your pace. And 5. Build in tiny recovery moments. Even 30 seconds of quiet can be enough to wipe the slate clean.
And listen, this isn't just some feel-good idea. It's backed by solid research. Studies show that even tiny 2-minute breaks from movement can lead to a huge jump in on-task behavior. These little restoration moments, they aren't wasted time. They are the fastest way to get that productive time back. When we start to see our classrooms through this lens, it just opens up this whole new world of possibilities for how we teach and, more importantly, how kids learn.
This new way of thinking, it's so protective. It protects equity, because students coming in with a cluttered mind don't get penalized for it. It protects motivation, because all of a sudden, success feels achievable again. And maybe most important of all, it protects their dignity. Forgetting is no longer a moral failing. It's a design signal telling us we need to adjust.
At the end of the day, this is really about designing learning environments that work with the brain's natural rhythm, not constantly fighting against it. It's about creating a space where a student's biological needs are seen and met, which finally allows all their effort to turn into real, lasting learning.
So I'm going to leave you with this one thought to chew on. What would change in your classroom, in your home, even in your workplace, if you started treating every moment of forgetting not as a failure of the person, but as a clear signal that the environment needs a tweak? What would be possible then?